even though it's really cold outside, it is warm in here. And this is my new friend, Steve Harris. We are here checking out Wild Thing. So, what inspired the name Wild Thing?
Well, basically, I always loved the song, but the car is fun to drive and it's a wild ride, so that's why it's Wild Thing.
Absolutely. It looks a little wild.
Yeah, no, funny cars and altereds are reputed to be the hardest thing to drive, and it definitely is a handful.
Nice. So that brings me to another question. Why is it called a funny car? Where did that name come from?
They were called plastic, they were all fiberglass bodies and lift up, and people always thought they were a funny car, and so hey, that's where it came from. But basically they had tube frames, chassis with, so they either had an altered body on it or a funny car, which is the fiberglass body. And most popular, we run in the nostalgia class, which is the old school muscle cars. So it's a 69 Charger, and it's from the original mini Charger, Grand Spalding Dodge, Chi-Town, and Super Chief. And it was actually came from the Super Chief mold. You could still read Super Chief in it. And one of the amusing things was Nelson Carter. He was an Odessa Indian, and he just unfortunately passed away a year and a half ago. But he had on the front of the spoiler, Custer had it coming.
Oops.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we put it. It's all, there's about 750 hours of fiberglass work, and putting it back to period correct, and everything's pretty well handmade on it. So
yeah, and if you look at the inside of the body and every detail on it, it's just a piece of art.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah. No, it was a lot of work, and but we run a nostalgia class, and it's completely nostalgia. No electronics. It's got it's a clutch car, and it only has a tack, shift light, and vacuum gauge and oil pressure gauge. So it's as old school as you can get, and these cars have no suspension. So it's straight rear axle on them. So it's no independent suspension or anything, and no rack and pinion. It's old school, so it's a handful.
Now that actually brings me to another question as well. What do you have to be to run in the nostalgic? Like, what makes it truly nostalgic?
Well, a lot of guys run different things. Like some guys are running automatic transmissions and and torque converters, or but really, when it comes down to it, it's it's supposed to be no electronics, and it's old school. So it's not like a lot of your newer vehicles that have all the electronics with shifts, shifting, automatic shifting, and everything else. So.
So are you running against guys that are like totally old school like you, or do you have to compete with guys that do have some of the?
Most guys are old school, but the odd person has, the odd person does have other stuff on there. You're not supposed to run a tranny brake and other things, but some people are doing it. But it depends on the class and whether there's funny car chaos, and this is BBFC, which is methanol, alcohol. Nitro is AAFC. So
okay,
yeah,
okay. So do you want to run a nitro car?
Can't afford it.
Yeah.
A lot of maintenance and a lot of money.
Yeah, no kidding. So with this being a nostalgia car, do you see that this class or this type of racing is kind of a dying breed, or is it actually coming back?
We've, it's really, really popular. Unfortunately, during COVID, lost a lot of cars, and but it's really popular. The cars, seeing the old school muscle cars and stuff, it's very popular. I myself, like most people, would rather see the old school stuff rather than see the newer bodies that you can't even tell what brand it is. Funny car chaos in the States is really taken off and really popular. We get paid by the tracks to show up and put on a show, and pay jet cars, funny cars, altereds, very popular. Go ahead, ask me what I do in my spare time. I'm a male exotic dancer at the old folks' home. Yes, the old ladies are really very, positive. The tips are good.
They're very, very
There we go.
Yes,
Yeah.
guys gotta make a living.
Yeah. Behind us here, obviously, you have a big elephant motor, but it's not an original elephant. What are we talking about for the engine in this?
It's actually a 92 TFX solid block. It's old school. It's stage. They're actually Alan Johnson heads. We did have stage 5 heads on before, but they're Alan Johnson heads. 1471 blower. Let's see here. Aluminum rods, the typical stuff. But yeah, it's old school.
Yeah, and after we'll take a look at some of the carnage that you have left when there's some big booms go on.
Yeah.
So,
But triple clutch, 3-speed Lenco. Usually Nitro cars just run a 2-speed. It's a 3-speed Lenco. Yep.
what is the diff in the car?
It's a Ford 9-inch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it anything like the car is light, so you don't have to have the craziest kind of diff, but is it aftermarket completely? Or?
No, it's just a Ford 9-inch, but I mean, it's definitely been narrowed and everything else, and it's got a spool, of course, and hardened axles and the whole 9 yards. So yeah.
What gear?
430.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And looks like you're running a crank drive fuel pump.
Yep.
And you said you're on methanol or alcohol.
Yep.
Yeah. And so there's a big difference when you hear, the different fuels. Alcohol is pretty loud.
Alcohol's loud and good for power, and and nitro's even more explosive.
Yeah. A nitro car, you hear an alcohol car, you feel a nitro car.
Yeah.
And but I mean, the price of doing that, even this, I mean, I don't know what this engine's worth, and we don't need to talk about that, but it's more than your average car that you buy off a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
yeah, they're very expensive to maintain, and usually we need a crew to run the car, and so it's not a cheap venture, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that's what does your crew consist of?
We usually have at least minimum 3. It's very popular thing to have what's called bugs or backup girls, and they'll usually back the car up, and so we have our crew, and usually you have about 5 people approximately, so plus a driver.
Yeah, and we just lifted the body on the car, and I mean, this is a nostalgia car because it takes 3 people to fold this front up.
We always have to warm the tires up, so we do big smoky burnouts, and then back it up after the tires are heated up, and then stage the car, and away we go.
Yeah, and it doesn't have the biggest view out of these cars, does it?
No, there's about 1 inch to see over the blower on this one.
Yeah. So it's probably pretty exciting when you're in there.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a rush, that's for sure. Real adrenaline. I'm an adrenaline junkie, that's for sure.
You're an adrenaline junkie. Where did that start? What was the first racing? What got you into cars?
I was always into cars. My first car I ever bought was a '69 Charger when I was 17 years old. Still own it. Put a Hemi in it when I was 19 years old. So, and I used to drive it out to the strip in Calgary and got to see all the old celebrities that were heroes, from Shirley Muldowney to Prudhomme, Garlitz, all sorts of. It was just a great thing, and it was a real car culture in Calgary, and still is. So
it's too bad there's no track.
Oh yeah. A lot of people, even the police, would like to see a track, as keeps the street racers off the streets. So.
Have you heard rumors of maybe that happening?
They've tried to, do some things, but we'll cross our fingers and hope that somebody puts a track together in the future. It sure would be nice to see.
Yeah, it would be nice to have another track on there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're losing tracks all over the place.
Yeah. Though, I'll tell you, it's good to see, we go to Saskatchewan, SIR. It's been going, they're actually celebrating 60 years this year. Medicine Hat's actually tried to repave, so they've, hopefully they'll get donations and help to repave, because it'd be nice to see that track. And it's all, it's all done by the racers, and so it's it's really good to see. Great place to race. Rad Torque in Edmonton, great facility. Rimby has its 8th mile, but great track, great people. Again, run by the racers. Great facilities. So it'd be nice to see some more tracks definitely spring up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Medicine Hat's my home track, and as far as I understand, part of the track is going to be Edmonton.
Yeah.
Outside of drag racing, have you been into any other motorsports at all?
A little bit of everything. Done a little karting, but a very tiny little bit, just playing around. Biking and stuff. But mostly done a little bit of a tiny little bit of slalom stuff, but road racing, but only just as a hobby. So
Yeah, and I see that you like to play. There's snow outside, and there's a pile of snow machines and lots of fun stuff around.
Hey, gotta enjoy life.
Absolutely. I agree. If you were going to get into nostalgia racing starting fresh, how would someone get into that?
Well, probably the cheapest way would be to buy an existing car, because it would just take too much money and too much time and to build one, and it would be cheaper to buy one.
How if someone were to decide that they wanted to see what it was like, how would you become a crew member?
There's a lot of crews that are looking for people. Basically reaching out to some of the teams basically and seeing if they need crew would be probably the best bet.
Yeah, that's a volunteer position.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a thrill to just be on the crew.
Oh yeah, no, it's a lot of fun, and hey, we try to keep it we have a lot of family in our crew, friends and family. It's just a fun time, and everybody at the tracks, it's all a lot of family friends at the racetrack. So
yeah, the track, there's definitely a good atmosphere around the track.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely beautiful car, and you're a body man, and obviously this car has been molded off of the original car.
No, it's absolutely factory.
Yeah. And then you talked about the original mold, but you did some modifications to it that I think are really cool, and we talked about. I'd love it if you just went over what you actually did to the car.
Well, Marty Broder's a friend of mine. He ran the car. He ran the Super Chief with Nelson Carter and for years, and so Marty did the mold, pulled the plug out, and then we modified it. So Marty and I, we cut 3.5 inches out of the front. Marty's a fiberglass wizard, and then handmade the wheel wells, and we actually had to chop the roof off because we had done the front, and we actually grafted another roof on. And before, the sides had gone straight down, and for aerodynamics, and I cut the sides and moved it in so to give it the period correct contours, and and then it was painted candy red with pearls. It's about a 12-coat paint job, and actually only a couple spots in the car have been buffed, just where some of the decals went. The rest of it is all absolutely the way it turned out.
Yeah, and when you say you cut that 3.5 inches out, that's actually a big wedge that you cut out?
Yeah, so it was a wedge 3.5 inches narrower in the front, and then as it went to the back, and basically at the back it was of the hood, it was halfway down, it came to zero. Also, all the graphics, it's all gold leaf, and he did a beautiful job of doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything on the car is beautiful. Now, this body line that you were talking about and this aluminum trim on the bottom here, can you show us what you're talking about there? So which body line are we talking about?
This one here, it used to just go straight down. All these were handmade, the wheel wells. This is all hand painted on. He did a beautiful job, Ace Fine Lines, all hand pinstriped and all old school.
Yeah, these aren't stickers. That's gold leaf.
No, the only stickers are just from there on, and that's Marty's MRD. And even the I Love My Hooker headers is hand painted on, and that's a old school decal back from the 70s.
Yeah, that's cool.
House of Colors, all House of Colors products on it. Love their House of Colors.
Okay, perfect. Now, when we're looking inside, can you explain to us? Maybe I'll get you to go to the other side.
Sure, maybe I can point out one thing too.
Sure.
You might want to see this decal now. That's Nelson Carter's original decal from earlier. Kenny Youngblood actually did that. He's of Nelson Carter, but that was his, and that's a tribute sticker we did for his passing.
Very cool.
He ran the Super Chief, so.
Okay. Yep. Perfect.
So we have our shift light and tack, vacuum gauge and boost gauge and oil pressure gauge, kill switch, second gear, third gear, kill switch, and that's not kill switch. That's on-off gas lights. This is the brake, and this is the fire system, and this is the parachutes, and this is the escape hatch. And this is your air for your helmet. And that's reverse right there, reverser. It's either in forward or it's in reverse.
Okay.
It does. And then clutch and gas.
So when you're doing a big smoky burnout, smirky burnout, you have air into your helmet.
You can have air if you're in your helmet if you wish. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And you don't?
I like to
smell the smoke.
Enjoy the ambiance.
Yeah, and if you look, you can see sitting in there what you're having to look past.
Yeah, and after you pull the chutes, it's like someone grabbing onto your shoulders and giving you a big tug, and then at the end of the run, to get out, you have to undo your seat belts and then go like this and climb out in a fire suit.
Yeah. Obviously, you've traveled with this car. I see you have the big toter home and the stacker trailer, and you're set up to be able to travel. What's the furthest you've raced in this car?
We've only been, basically Mission, BC to Saskatchewan. I went down to visit Marty there when we built the car down in Kingston and Wolf Island. But so I've been across Canada, but not racing. We've only raced from Saskatchewan to Mission, BC. I've been down to California to Bakersfield and stuff to watch the events down there, and would love to go sometime. But unfortunately, it's all a matter of being able to afford to do it. So
absolutely, for sure. So, is there any way that someone could sponsor you to go to an event south if they wanted to?
We are looking for sponsorship, due to COVID and after COVID and the state of the economy. Finding sponsorship is tougher than it used to be. We try not to have too many sponsors, as it's not fair to your sponsors. You want to be able to give them the necessary promotion, that they require. So having too many sponsors isn't good. But so we try to keep down the minimum. But we are looking for sponsors for both our club, which is the Western Canadian Nostalgia Funny Car Funny Cars, Western Canadian Nostalgia Funny Cars, and also for or if a company wants to sponsor just a car. Obviously looking for sponsorship for this coming year, and depending on the amount they want to give, if they want to decal on the car, or also we put it on the trailer as well. So the cars appear in car shows, World of Wheels, events, and YouTube videos and all over the internet. So.
Is it possible for someone to just sponsor, say, you going to a single location, or is that?
We actually prefer that we have it's sponsoring. We prefer to have sponsors for the whole year so that they get their name and they get their company out there at every event. So it's better for them.
Very specialized and elite sponsorship kind of deal.
Yeah, well, it's sponsorship. It definitely gets the name out there, and we feel that, of course, it has to be good for both ourselves and the sponsor. If it's not beneficial for both, it's not worth having. We always try to bring a sponsor out to an event So we let them pick an event, and they get to come out and participate. And so it's, they can have a lot of fun.
So real family deal. If they're going to
Yeah.
sponsor, you want them to be part of the family.
Absolutely, yeah. We make it so that we invite them out, and hey, we've had a lot of good times with some of our sponsors over the years.
Absolutely. It sounds like a great opportunity.
Yeah, you betcha. Hanging out with family and friends, and but hey, going down the track and 200 miles per hour, and we run in the 690 category. It's a fun time. So. Cruising around and meeting people, and it's always cool to see younger people, and we let them sit in the car, and hey, it's always fun to see the excitement and see them enjoying themselves out at the track.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for people that might not like out at the track when a car is sitting there. People might be scared to approach and whatever, but
Yeah.
I mean, a kid being able to sit in a car like this will be a forever memory.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. And and you as well. I mean, even if they're in your car once, they can be part of the family. I'm sure you have some swag that you
we actually sell T-shirts and for ladies and men's and kids, and promotional stuff, but posters and things. So and all the money goes towards running the car. So any profits. So
absolutely. Now, do you know your race schedule before the season? Like, is there somewhere that someone can go on a website or
we're just narrowing it down right now. There's the Rockies at Rad Torque, Hot August Nights. We're waiting to hear of other venues that are be going to. Unfortunately, Medicine Hat will be closing their track at the end of July to repave. So, but we're just going setting up the venues presently.
So is there somewhere that is announced, or?
We will be putting it on the Facebook website. We were running as the Rocky Mountain Nostalgia Funny Car Association, and now we're the Western Canadian Nostalgia Funny Cars. So it will be on the Facebook page, and it will be, and all the tracks always advertise when the funny cars are coming, as it's always a big deal. So
we'll put a link to that on the description.
Yeah.
In this video.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
It has been an honor meeting you.
Yeah. And pleasure.
The business that we've been doing together here has been
great.
Excellent. And,
yeah, you betcha.
I'm sure we're going to come up, and I'm hoping that we can do some more videos of some of your other projects that you have.
Yeah, for sure.
So perfect. Thank you so much for letting us do this interview.
Yeah, you betcha.
Drop some comments, some questions, and I can get a hold of Steve if we have to have anything answered. If you don't mind, please like, share, and subscribe.